PNGTV Live News Bulletin, I'm Belinda Kora. Since the revelation by Lands Minister Justin Kachinko on the 60 SABL's missing files and the recent controversial Manu Manu land deal file, there has been a public outcry. Oro Governor Gary Jufa has joined the chorus, giving his indicating mismanagement is to blame for the missing files. Kaligan Tanda with this report.
Well, I'm not surprised. I think there are more than 65.
Governor Gary Jufa believes that if an audit of the Lands Department is conducted, it would reveal that more files are missing than just the reported 60.
Stories of many people turning up and there are no files.
Jufa shared the story of his relative who had been chasing after his land title for the last 3 years. He believes much of the problems and issues are related to mismanagement of the department itself.
And it's because there's a poor filing management system, and all of this reflects to poor management, and the buck stops at the top. So the minister will have to be the person driving the inquiry as to how this happened. But I'm not surprised that the SABL files have gone missing or the Manu Manu file has gone missing.
Governor Jufa, in giving his assessment of the current scenario, further likened it to a commission of inquiry from 30 years ago.
Something like this happened years ago, where there was an inquiry into the influence of illegal logging or illegal loggers in the country. It was the Barnett inquiry, and the fraud squad office was burned down, and the PNG forest office was burgled, and all the files and computers were removed from that office. This is a repeat of history, and I would propose that the same people are behind it. They're still around.
The 1989 Barnett inquiry was established in 1987 and originally intended for 6 months but ended up lasting 2 years after several extensions. An attempt was even made to kill Australian judge and chairman of the Commission of Inquiry, Tos Barnett, after his commission published findings in its inquiry into corruption in the Papua New Guinea forest industry. The inquiry's report led to the subsequent restructuring of the forestry sector and the creation of Papua New Guinea Forest Authority, or PNGFA, in 1993. The PNGFA replaced the former Department of Forestry and unified all the provincial forest divisions and the Forest Industries Council. Kaligantanda, PNGTV Live.
The delay in payment of outstanding funds for government scholarships to the University of Papua New Guinea has forced the institution to apply stringent measures. The university clarifies that students are fully responsible for the payment of outstanding fees that have not been paid by their respective sponsors. Quentin Anaime with this report.
Continuing students who are debtors will only be allowed to register if all outstanding debts that have been accumulated up to the end of 2017 plus the compulsory fees for 2018 are paid in full by the respective deadlines. Any outstanding fees that have not been paid by a sponsor in previous years and including 2018 remain the responsibility of the student and must be paid in full by the student concerned before registration. For students that were on government's AES scholarship in 2017, parents must pay the outstanding of 2,880 kina for semester 2 from 2017 before the students can be allocated accommodation. This varies for students that were on Hacker scholarship. If a student is not registered, he or she cannot apply for residential accommodation on campus. UPNG Chancellor Dr. Nicholas Mann says the management of UPNG is implementing the University Council's decision on debt reduction and tightened control mechanism as directed by the Minister for DHEST recently. Dr. Mann tells PNGTV Live that advocates and parents of affected students must get DHEST to clear 2017 debts first, then venture into 2018. The university adds that in the event that DHEST pays the semester 2 2017 fees for a student, that allocation will be considered by the bursary and a credit will be arranged. Attempts to get a response from DHEST in the delay of payments were unsuccessful. Quintina Naime, PNGTV Live.
More and more TB patients on Daru Island in the Pngtvlive district of Western Province are faithfully completing their treatment with an improvement in the loss to follow-up rate of 1%. This is the result of the effective Daru Accelerated Response for TB or DAT sites program implemented on the island. Quentin Anaime with this update.
The DAT program on Daru Island commenced 2 years ago, treating both drug-resistant and drug-sensitive TB patients. This World Vision treatment site is one out of 5 TB treatment sites on Daru Island. Over 100 out of a total of 400 TB patients on the island get treatment here on a daily basis. With the treatment sites set up at different locations throughout the island, people undergoing TB treatment do so right at the convenience of their backyards. World Vision Technical Lead for TB in Western Province, Dr. Sonia Majuz, reveals the loss to follow-up rate was previously around 30% and now it's down to less than 1%. This means all TB patients at the Daru General Hospital are accounted for and are all undergoing, continuing and finishing their treatment. Dr. Majuz says they need to keep this number low at less than 1% in order to account and treat all patients and stop the transmission of TB in the community.
It's this loss to follow-up patients, the ones who are not able to finish treatment, that will cause the transmission of further TB in the community. That's why it's very important that we keep this number low. And of course, our target is 0, but yeah, we're getting there. We're less than 1%, so we're almost there.
World Vision Papua New Guinea, with support from the Australian government, and World Vision Australia collaborates with the Provincial Health Office, Bennett Institute and local partners to bring quality TB treatment and care closer to communities in Daru Island, Western Province. Deputy Secretary for Health and co-chair of the Emergency TB Response Team, Dr. Paison Dakulala, says the government needs to be commended for the leadership, guidance in bringing all development partners for funding support.
Today I would tell you, with that kind of statement that's made in the Russian meeting, that we have now, moved genuinely to ensure that we move forward to end the TB, certainly in this Daru setting and elsewhere. Now, if we continue the way we are, that will certainly happen in 10 to 15 years.
Nutritional support is also distributed every day to keep the patient's bodies strong and healthy and more able to cope with the treatment regimen. Quinton Anaime, PNGTV Live.
Upon the invitation of the PNG National Government, Port Moresby was host to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Mr. Zaid Ra'ad Al Hussein. This is the first time a top human rights official has visited PNG at a time where government is yet to pass legislations for the setting up of a Human Rights Commission. Age 54 and originally from Jordan, Mr. Ra'ad Al Hussein took up this post in September 2014. He is also known outside of his UN capacity as Prince Saeed bin Rad Al Hussein, the son of Prince Rad bin Saeed, Lord Chamberlain of Jordan. Saeed played a central role in the establishment of the International Criminal Court and was elected the first president of the Assembly of State Parties of the International Criminal Court in 2002. This morning, Mr. Ra'ad Al Hussein met with a civil society group in a closed-door meeting before a group shot outside the Lamana Hotel. The main aim of this meeting was to get an understanding of PNG's current status of human rights concerns and how the UN can be better placed in addressing this with government. The group, consisting of human rights defenders in PNG, including men and women who are placing great emphasis on fighting and protecting the rights of those with disabilities, women, children, victims of accusation-based violence, and NGOs who are continuously fighting for the rights of customary landowners. Also included in the meeting was the Media Council of Papua New Guinea, representing the rights of journalists in PNG when carrying out their day-to-day role.
So I look forward to keeping you informed, and I look forward to the discussions to come. And at a later stage, we'll see how to communicate to you also the views of the office. So thank you so much for this initial encounter with members of the press.
You're watching PNGTV Live News Bulletin. More after these messages. News Bulletin. Head of the APEC 2018 Security Operations and Police Commissioner Gary Baki was pleased to finally sign his employment contract today. The signing was witnessed by the Governor-General, His Excellency Sir Bob Dadai, at the Government House. Quintin Anaime with this report.
Commissioner Baki was appointed by the National Executive Council to head the police force in 2015. His term in office is for 4 years. After successfully delivering the 2017 national elections, he is now focused on the 2018 APEC meeting.
You know, there's a lot of, for 2016 for us is basically really a year of instability. There's a lot of internal issues challenging the police force. We've come out of it. We've taken the country to the elections in 2017. We've come out of it. And it's just, you know, a rollover of the elections, and now we're going into APEC. So.
Meantime, Deputy Chief Censor Jim Abani and Second Legislative Counsel Malin Toleman Akop also signed their employment contracts. Abani commenced his second term as the acting Deputy Censor in 2016 and hopes that the current Censorship Act will be amended to cater for the evolving and changing technology.
We've been using the current the law for the last 20 years, so we are now in the process of reviewing to meet the technical change that is happening around the globe and also Papua New Guinea.
Malin Toleman Akop was appointed in 2014 as the acting Second Legislative Counsel with the Office of Legislative Counsel and has been working in the Council since 2018. The office is within the Department of Prime Minister and the National Executive Council. Her role in the office is to draft the bills of Parliament.
So I am very happy that now my role now is in a higher level, and it's a level of responsibility as well. So I have a lot of challenge to face to ensure that I'm drafting good laws. I'm translating the policies well into laws, and it's all for good governance.
She is the first female appointed as a legislative council since independence. Quintina Naime, PNGTV Live.
Housing Minister John Kaupa has announced plans to introduce new policies to raise rental prices for the National Housing Corporation properties. The minister made this statement in Parliament today in response to a question by member for Pngtvlive and Rainbow Paita if there was a policy in place to regulate housing prices in the country. Kaligan Tanda with this report.
Mr. Kaupa says the existing national housing policy has a ceiling of all the rental rates from colonial days, which provide the ceiling to be from 7 kina 50 to 128 kina to 200 kina. These monies alone cannot cater for the proper maintenance of existing properties of the National Housing Corporation around the country. The minister had identified many problems in the Housing Corporation and has established a team called the Housing Reform Policy Team.
So that Lord 6 Moon Law Parliament session, I'm going to bring this policy in for the endorsement of the Parliament. So that Bambla Lulu Nupla rate, you go and up, Abrusim 100 and 200, you go and up, so that Mipla can work him enough money, so that Mipla can maintain him existing property throughout the country.
On touching on some of the difficulties, he made mention that tenants themselves posed a problem when the Housing Corporation wanted to raise the rental prices earlier on.
Only sawe, awesome there is a ceiling. Time we like put the rent in we know that there is a ceiling of the rent. And Housing Corporation is not a business entity. Housing Corporation is an entity where provide affordable houses for all citizens of this country.
The new policy on rental ceiling will be introduced in June after it is endorsed by Parliament for new rates of rentals. The Housing Minister further announced his ministerial statement would be presented next week to indicate what he has done in the last 7 months at the NHC. The ministerial statement will cover the current state of NHC and plans for the future. Kalagantanda, PNGTV Live.
The floor of Parliament livened today with exchanges between the Matanai MP Walter Schnobelt and Minister for Intergovernment Relations Kevin Isufu. The exchange was over a circular from Isufu's ministerial predecessor Charles Abel, which Isufu had read yesterday, stopping council presidents from resuming their role after contesting the national elections last year. Kaligan Tanda with this report.
Speaker, question along Minister of Intergovernment Relations.
During their questions without notice, Namatanai MP Walter Schnobelt asked Minister Kevin Isufu to explain why LLG presidents who contested the national elections were ineligible to continue as council presidents after the elections as per a government instruction.
Minister, after you talk, you know, quoting constitution or going law that governs or he talk out or say display law true you sanapan tablongen or no that. Please can you quote exactly the law that you're referring to?
Isufu responded that this was the government's decision at the end of the day.
Me at me no lawyer so hard let me answer him short question. But me talk finish last day this is in block government. This in block government and Mosem.
This prompted an immediate response from Schnobelt.
Masiloron arre Tomas. Kelea, one sexem law organic law na constitution you walk talk long end. Suppose you know sawe talk you know sawe na sit down and me continue because time colloquy walk tiki stuff.
The exchange even drew in the Higher Education Minister to raise a point of order, saying a question of legal opinion could not be sought from MPs in Parliament.
You know, can ask him professional questions, legal questions, such as this one where it requires the lawyers to answer.
However, Speaker Job Pomat allowed the question, saying the minister was only asked to give a law or piece of legislation. Isufu was immediately cut off by Schnobelt, who highlighted the Electoral Commissioner's view of the circular.
Electoral Commissioner too, ikirap na itokol sem. You know that one specific law that stops a president from contesting the election and cannot go back and resume his duty as president.
The minister finally relented.
Because law, you now, questionably now, by me put in Narbla statement, minister statement can, law benefit, law clear him this law. But by me put him into writing, now give him come law you long, law benefit play now law house.
Kalagantanda, PNGTV Live.
Donations towards the relief effort for islanders affected by volcanic activities in Wewak, Isipik province continue to come in. Today, PNG Forest Product donated 2 mobile kit homes to be used by the disaster office at the care center. Gregory Avera with this report.
Worth 20,000 kina each, the 2 mobile kit homes will soon be shipped to Wewak to assist in relief efforts. PNG Forest Product National Sales Manager Cliff Webb says the company hopes the donation will help in assisting over 500 displaced islanders.
We would like to participate under the private and public sector program the government has embarked on to donate these 2 transportable units so that just the committee can use and the member can use where the need is.
It has been over a month now since mild volcanic activity started on Kadova Island. The local MP, Kevin Isufu, while accepting the donation, says this is the best so far and one which will greatly help.
So far, this is one of the best donations we've received in terms of house kits. And I would like to acknowledge the genuineness and the kindness of the company.
He adds that the mobile kit homes will likely be used to house a coordination center for the relief effort. The member says this donation and others previously have been greatly appreciated by the people.
People are very good people. They are very passionate, kind people, and obviously they will appreciate the donations that has been made by the company.
Meantime, the 2 mobile kit homes will be shipped by the company to Wewak in the coming days. Gregory Avira, PNGTV Live.
You're watching PNGTV Live News Bulletin. More after these messages. Welcome back. You're watching PNGTV Live News Bulletin. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission has successfully redesigned and upgraded its website layout and functionality to give a modern look encompassing special features compatible to all handheld devices such as mobile phones. The website was launched in Port Moresby today. ICCC Commissioner Paulus Ayn commended his team for completing this task while calling on consumers to access for information and online lodgements of applications and complaints. Festus Magan up with this report.
In contrast to the previous one, the redesigned website has a new look, is more user-friendly and easy to navigate. Commissioner Ayn says the upgraded website is consistent with priority and themes of the ICCC's 2017 to 2019 corporate plan.
If anyone is having problem in visiting or experiencing, say for example, blackouts in one of the provinces, and it's no problem, we can always go online and see what is actually happening in the reports and the status of the network update. So that will also apply to PNG Ports and VIL, PNG and others that we regulate.
The website has certain key features that include online lodgement of complaints and queries, online application forms, links to important stakeholders, as well as a map locator to ICCC's regional offices and contacts. Commending the Commission, Newman Nipson, First Secretary to the Vice Minister for Treasury, said the initiative was in line with the growing demand for technology, at the same time enforcing the paperless policy that is being accepted and enforced by organizations world over.
Information is one of the integral parts that we really treasure to actually carry on development in the country. And to have access to such information, it really needs something like this, and this is highly commendable right now.
Festus Magan, PNGTV Live.
Sporting news, and it's on again. The Chukai Fun Run is set for this year. All funds raised will support our athletes through the PNG Olympic Committee. The event was launched today at the Royal Papua Yacht Club alongside major sponsor Chukai Industries Limited. Florida Gulasene with this update.
The significance of the event is dated back to 35 years ago, and Chukai Industries has been a major sponsor since the year 2000, making this year its 19th year of sponsorship.
It is the biggest event in our marketing calendar, not just because of the size of the event or because it's a perfect vehicle to drive our brand, but because it is also one of our largest corporate social responsibility programs. This single event combines everything Chukai truly believes in and has supported over the last 48 years of our tiny country.
The launch also featured the revealing of the Chukai Fun Run t-shirts designed with a special message about the Sustainable Development Goals.
To explain to everyone the true reach of the Fun Run and why everyone needs to get involved and support it every year. Support the launch, support the auctions, support by simply buying a shirt.
Vice Sports Minister Wesley Raminai was also present at the launch and says the event has gained popularity over the years and the people of the country have been a major support.
And as a country, we can be very proud that without our fail, year in, year out, people from all walks of life combine to participate in an event that I must say is quite unique compared with other Pacific Island countries who try hard to raise funds.
The date of the fun run is set to take place on the 24th of June this year, with an estimated 80,000 participants across all centers of the country expected to be part of the event. All proceeds raised from the fundraising will be to assist Team PNG athletes to participate in the Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia, from the 4th to the 15th of April, then to the Youth Olympics later in October this year. Florida Gulaseni, PNGTV Live.
And the second National Super Nines rugby competition is set to get underway next weekend following the competition and logo launch this afternoon in Port Moresby. A total of 16 teams will be taking part in the competition to be held at the National Sports Institute in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province. Gregory Avira reports.
The Super Nines logo is unveiled by Chairman Sandis Chaka and PNG RFL Chief Executive Officer Reata Rao, signaling the launch of the competition. The two-day event will see 16 teams taking part from the 17th to the 18th of this month.
We extended to Medellin. We've also invited the Argentine team. So where we feel there's stock of players and where we can, they're missing out on the pathway that is there, then we're opening up to give them some space or some room. The 4 conference are going to be there. So it just gives the team or the players opportunity to be picked up.
Apart from the 10 teams in the Digicel Cup, 6 invitational teams will also be taking part in the event. This is the second time that the PNG RFL is staging this competition and will be meeting the cost of participation for all teams.
It's going to cost us about between 250 and 300,000 depending on cost outlays that happen, but it's cheaper for us to do it in Goroka because most of the franchise teams, many of them are from the highlands, so in terms of airfares, substantial part of our cost is airfares. Flying teams in that. Flights alone accounts for about 150,000. The rest of the cost is just looking after the players, but substantial part of our flight is airfares, and having the games played in Goroka, this actually keeps the airfares low.
Chaka adds that the road link from Goroka to other islands and Momase provinces was the reason for its selection to host the event. Meantime, a coaching and accreditation clinic for referees and coaches will be held prior to the start of the competition. This, the PNG RFL says, will help enhance the coaching and refereeing capabilities of match referees and coaching staff. Gregoria Vera, PNGTV Live.
And that's the news and sports on PNGTV Live. More at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Join us then.